Hi, this is Mark from Skywagon University, and today we're going to be looking at this 1949 195 that Dave Yore, who's based here at Placerville, has very kindly brought over. And we're going to talk about the plane, and then we're going to fly it around a little bit. So let's get into the details. So we've got about 200 videos on this channel now of different planes, and over the years people have said, do a 195, do a 195. And I said, well, I can't do a 195 until I get a 195. Well, Dave was based here at Placerville in the 90s with Joe.
91.
91, yeah, that's when I started with Joe.
Yeah.
And we were all much younger. And he had a 180, and then he had a 195, and then he disappeared for how long?
15 years.
15 years. And recently he's come back, bought a hangar, bought a 195, and he's back at Placerville. So this plane lives here now. And I said to him when I saw it, Dave, we got to do a video, and he very kindly agreed. So thanks for bringing it so far.
You're welcome. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your tail dragger journey, how you ended up in a 195.
Well, I started out, actually, I bought all my planes except this one I bought either through you or Joe.
Oh, okay, because I didn't have one in inventory.
Well, you had a 195. That's what I bought.
No, but I didn't have one
at the time you didn't have one. Right. This time you didn't. But I started with the 172, and I flew that for a couple of years, and then I just got the bug for the tail dragger, and I bought a 180 from you guys.
That blue one.
That blue one.
That was Kurt Wien's.
Yes.
The Alaska Airlines' founder's grandson's 180.
Right, 5180 Echo.
That's it, yeah, blue.
It's in Washington now, in the missionary place up there in Washington. Anyways, they bought it from the guy that had it up in Sedona. I followed it. I actually tried to buy the plane back again.
Instead of this?
Well, this was prior to getting the bug again for the 195.
And then the 195 you used to have, what made you think I want to go vintage radial quality?
Honestly, it was my wife more than me. She just thought it was a sexy looking airplane.
She's right.
She is, and I got in it. And Ray, he owned it, and I think they bought it from you, or no, you bought it from Ray.
Right.
And then I bought it from you guys.
Yeah.
And then Ray took me up and got me checked out in it. And in fact, the day that I was checked out in it, the winds were out of the south, blowing about 20 knots, and I came in, it was kind of drizzly, and we were in, and you said something to the effect of, I don't think you'll have a problem with the 195. Because it was a quartering crosswind going back and forth, and that's a tough airplane to
well, those are the top three tail dragger ground loopers are Globe Swifts, Luscombes, and 195s.
195s, yeah.
And just a little bit of statistics and numbers is there were 1,180 190s and 195s built. There's about 600 left in the world, and about 300 or just under 300 of them are flyable. So there's a quarter of the planes built in the 40s and 50s are still airworthy. And then another interesting thing I just discovered is these were built, this is a 49.
Correct.
They're business liners. They're called the Cessna 195 Businessliner, and they were built as a corporate aircraft for businessmen to fly between jobs without having to use the airlines, and they were as fast as the airliners of the time. So you went in a DC-3, you went in a Beech 18, you went in a 195, you're doing 150 knots. So you got your own plane, so it's like a corporate jet. And they were $26,000 in 1954 when
I'll buy a radio today, maybe.
one old Garmin 430.
Exactly.
But the 140 at the time, to put it in perspective, was $4,500. So 4,500 to 26,000.
Yeah.
This was 5 times more expensive.
Yeah.
And it was aimed completely at the business market. So they called it the Businessliner. And then the other thing that's so interesting about Dave's use of this, although you like it as a classic vintage radial, he uses it every day for work. It's just been to Santa Rosa. It's full of briefcases and paperwork, and it's covered in oil and bugs because it's not polished in the hangar because he's working it. It's actually his everyday runaround, the way I use my Mooney, but with a little bit more style.
Yeah. It's just, for me, it's would I rather fly over to Santa Rosa or would I rather drive over to Santa Rosa?
Yeah, exactly.
Not much of a...
And then just give us some performance numbers, because people are going to go, oh, what does it burn? What's its speed? So if you were maintaining and looking after this compared to, say, a 206?
It's actually, I'm not familiar that much with the 206, but like in cruise, up here I was burning about 13.5 gallons.
13.5?
Yeah, 13.5 gallons. It's you could probably get it a little lower than that, but I was taught to do it at that, and so I...
Well, that's less than a 182.
Yeah, so I'm at 13.5. It cruises at about 130 knots, and climb out is, it's 90 miles an hour.
And what's the useful load?
Useful load on this is about 1,000 pounds.
Okay. So it's very comparable to a 182.
Very comparable, yes.
And the price to buy one is about the same as a 182 as well, isn't it? Like a mid-70s 182?
Yeah, because these are, to get a nice one, and I spent some time looking, you'll spend probably, when you look at somewhere around 150 on up, to get a nice 195.
150 up. And then before we start looking around it in detail, last question is, how about insurance?
You got to look at the age.
So when you got your first one, how old were you?
I was, what was I? I bought it in 2005, so I was 40, 42.
42, okay.
And I think at that time I was paying $1,800 a year for it. I just insured this for $160,000 and $6,700.
So yeah, I mean, you'd still use it every day as a practical runaround, just like you are. That's how it was designed.
Well, I use it. Here's the thing. I use it. It's more for pleasure. I just use it like if I have to go to a certain place and there's a close airport, then I'd rather fly there, and I get transportation. So that's how I do it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good to have a chat about why and where, but let's look at the machine itself.
Okay.
So I know about Skywagons, 180s, 185s. I can tell you everything. I'm not as familiar with these. So go over which engines they are and which engine this is and all that kind of stuff, Dave.
So this is a Jacob. It's a B2 fuel injected. The STC came out on these, I want to say probably 15, maybe 20 years ago for fuel injection. This one here, it's a 275 horsepower.
This is the 7...
This is the 755 B2.
Okay, yeah.
It's a B2 engine. Then they have the A engine, which they say those are not as reliable. They have more problems with an A engine.
What's the TBO on them?
1,400.
Okay.
I was told 12, and before this is what I was told. How accurate it is, I don't know. But I was told that when they came out with the fuel injection, it bumped it up 200 hours from 12 to 14.
Okay, 1,400 hours. Yeah.
So those of you that are out there will probably correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, if anybody knows exactly what the TBOs are on the 755
B2. Yeah.
B2.
Yeah.
And the fuel injection, that's an STC. And when it was carbureted, does the fuel injection give it a lot more economy and efficiency?
It brought it from 275 horse. Now, according to radial engines, they say it brings it up to about 295 horse.
Oh, really?
So it's about 20 horsepower.
So that's the same as a 185, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
the other thing that with these were famous for is they refer to them as the Jacob cough, and you had to run carburetor heat.
What?
And if you didn't run, because it had to do with getting the fuel into all the cylinders, and it always happened in the most inhospitable terrain. First time it happened to me, actually the second time it happened to me, I was over the Feather River Canyon, and Chris, my wife, was with me, and you literally kind of see the prop stop, and then it goes. It just coughs because it's not getting fuel for that moment. And so when you run carb heat, it's somehow that has something to do with distributing the fuel accurately or something. I don't know.
So the injection gets rid of the cough?
Got rid of the cough.
That's reassuring.
Yeah. That's when I bought this, my wife said, if you're going to buy a 195, you're going to get a fuel injected. She didn't want the cough.
Nice to have permission from the missus.
Yes.
Okay, interesting about the engine. Now, which prop is this?
It's the Hamilton standard, standard.
Constant speed.
Constant speed.
And then
Airport.
So when you're in cruise, what RPM do you run it at? What's its takeoff and its cruise RPMs?
Takeoff is about 2,200, and when I'm in cruise, I pull it back to 20,000 RPM and 20 inches of manifold.
Okay.
And there's different talks about that. Some guys will say, hey, I bring it back to 19.5 to 19.5 and 20, and it's.
Yeah. Well, if you own one and know these and you're listening to it, put in the comments what you like to run it at and what fuel burns you prefer and the reasons why. It's interesting. Okay, excellent. Okay, so just looking around it, one thing I've always really liked about these is this wind down window. There's a cranking handle on here, like a car. Mm-hmm. I mean, I bet that's because nothing else opens.
Well, yeah, like today is going to be one of the hottest days of the year.
So far,
and it's just, you roll that window down and you just get the air.
And it's glass.
Yes.
Actually, no, it isn't.
No, it's not.
But they used to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Easy to replace.
Yes.
This looks like something's changed.
It is. This is speed fairings that the previous owner had his mechanic build and put on.
Okay. And then some of these have thicker skins on the bellies after a ground loop. Has this ever been ground looped?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so it's probably the original thinner skins. Your last one had an event, didn't it?
Yes, the day he bought it.
Should we tell that story?
We can, because the gentleman's no longer around.
Okay.
So when I sold my last airplane, my 195, the gentleman that bought it, he was a corporate pilot, and he didn't want instruction. He felt he could handle the 195, and so I asked him a couple times. He said no, so he took off. And I said, well, he was going back to Mississippi, and I said, just let me know. He's going to go down to Palm Springs, his first stop. And I said, let me know when you get there. He should have been there. I think it was around 11 o'clock, and I didn't hear anything till about 1 o'clock.
This was his first landing.
First landing, and he had landed down in Thermal and hit the brakes. These are Cleveland's. That plane had Cleveland's on it, hit the brakes and flipped it on its back. And that was his first flight and first landing.
Uninsured?
Uninsured, yes.
So that flight cost him 150 grand?
Well, at that time, no, I sold that one for about 100,000.
Only?
Only, I know.
Yeah. Well, that's a lesson there.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing about these is you can fill us in on the details, but there's a flap difference in certain years.
Yes.
So which one is this?
This is the small flap. This is an A model, and the larger flaps. I don't know exactly how much bigger
And
they are.
the flap comes down under the wing ends back here.
Yes.
The flap ends here. So it's a lot of drag, right?
It's all towards drag. You get
just drag.
it's 1 mile an hour difference in speed.
Oh, is it?
That's all it is.
And they go out to here.
Yes.
Yeah. And so why then the bigger flap of the B?
You know, I don't know what the reason is for that.
The other thing that's cool on these is the landing light, which
Yes.
illuminates a spot right there, which you wouldn't think would be very good, but it doesn't. It comes out of the wing and points forward. We'll show you that too.
Yeah.
This wingspan, I read, prior to you bringing it over, I wanted to check it would fit down here. This wingspan is 36 feet,
Yes.
which is exactly the same as a 182.
Yes.
So this will fit in every conventional hangar. And the length is no longer, so this will go in all the normal T hangars, all the normal hangars that most of the airports have, so it's very easy to use
Yeah.
and very easy to live with. How much gas does it hold?
40 gallons per side, and it's 76 usable.
Okay, well, it's the same as a 182 as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Tail cone lift handles, useful, even though
Yes.
it's pretty heavy to move around.
Yes. You can't lift that up by hand.
People who know these old Cessnas will also look at this tail and think 170. It's very 170-like, but it isn't the 170 tail, is it? Some have said it is. Some have said it isn't.
You know, I'm not sure.
So there's another comment, 195 gurus or 170 gurus. This tail, which looks very similar to a 170's, or a bird dog, L19, is it the same tail? A tail of a Cessna. And then, of course, the tail wheel, which is very far underneath.
Very far underneath. It's
It's hard to get a tow bar on that.
in fact, I just bought, it just came in today, one of those AC technology tugs, the little ones on the crawler.
Oh, yeah, the robot tug.
I just bought one.
Is it good?
I don't, yeah, as far as I know it is. Ricky said he loves it.
Because these are heavy to pull and push.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And at my age,
Yeah.
I'm done sweat. I pull it in the hangar, that's a workout.
Even on flat ground.
Yeah.
But it's very conventional. There's no fabric on them. The 190, 195s were the first all-metal plane Cessna built.
Yeah.
And the predecessor to this was there was the
There was a 190, and then there was the Airmaster.
Airmaster before that.
Yeah,
which
it was 165 Airmaster.
Ricky restored one of those.
Yes, he
and
did.
It's fabric and small, and the spar hits you right here.
Yep. And the rudder paddles are way over to the right, so it's kind of here.
So this is its big brother.
Yes.
But all metal, and it's got a very, if I do that, it will stay there.
Yes.
And we'll show you the yokes inside and why that's like that. In fact,
It won't come back.
It won't, because the little thing's not in.
Well, it's not catching.
Oh, the detent's not in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to stay like that. Okay, good.
Okay, so access to the aircraft is through on the side here behind the passenger seat, and then when you open the door, there's a footstool or a little foot pedal that comes down to get to climb into it.
Handy.
For us older people.
Yeah, us.
And then also this is the baggage. Some of these have extended baggage, which goes back, I think, like the 182s.
Oh, yeah.
Those they do that 180s. This does not have that.
So that baggage door mechanism is the same as the early 180s.
Yes.
So you just press that.
Yep.
And it releases. So there's no external handle.
No.
So if that door's locked, this door's locked.
That door's locked. You can't get in.
And it's a big baggage area.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Does this have the janitrol heater back there?
No, that's another thing. We changed the heater in this. So previous, not
Good.
me, previous owner, he put a, what is it now? Is it Hartzell? Hartzell heater, I think is what it is.
Does it burn raw avgas in the fuselage?
Burns gas, and when we get over here, I'll show you how it works. It's really cool.
I'm always disturbed slightly by having a naked flame in the cockpit.
I was too. I was too, but this one here really changed my.
Okay, good. So everybody gets in through the one back door onto a large 3-seater bench. They're very comfortable. So we'll have a closer look now inside it. So in the cockpit, very conventional looking, a left and a right side, but dual instrumentation, an upgraded panel. They didn't have Garmin 430s in 1949. So you've got a nice King Digital / Garmin center stack panel, engine analyzer, all the usual flight instruments, VOR, glide slope, fuel pressure, oil pressure, temperature here, an HSI even, clocks and switches, just a nice clean layout, and then double yoke, and the yoke is on a big Y pedestal. Look at this. And the reason it wouldn't hold back when I was on the elevator is because there's a little clip there that it stays in so you can get in and out easily. And then throttle proper mixture, no carb heat, oil cooler baffles, and then down here elevator trim and rudder trim.
That's aileron.
Is it?
Yes, they don't. This one particular model did not have rudder trim. Some of them did, some of them don't.
So aileron trim, and it's written on it, so I should have known that. So aileron trim, rudder trim, dual controls, dual brakes, dual pedals, dual everything. And then here, look, if you can just reach around the front of me, the windy window, which is excellent and should be on every plane. And if you see from that position, is probably the same eye line as you'd have if you were in the front. Forward visibility over the cowling is very reduced when the tail is on the ground. So you taxi it looking down the side, and we'll see more of that when we're flying it in a minute. But very wide and comfortable. And I read also that the width of the cabin is because they had to accommodate that engine, so you couldn't have the engine wider than the plane, so they just made the cabin wider, which is why it's so comfortable. 2 in the front, 3 in the back. And it can carry it all.
So as far as 5 people, it has 2 in the front, 3 in the back, but 3 has to do with weight. You can't carry 3 full-size people in the back in full fuel. It's,
okay.
It'll be over useful load.
And this is the spar. And in an Airmaster, you'd be like this. But in a 190, 195, it's actually a really nice headrest.
And you have also skylights up above.
Oh yeah, which you need today.
Yes.
Because here we are at the end of March, and it's, what, 90 degrees? And we had snow 2 weeks ago. So moving forward a little bit on the cabin, back to the engine, we're looking at the oil filler door. Let's talk a little bit about the oil. Dave, how many quarts does it hold?
Gallons.
Gallons? Sorry, how many gallons does it hold?
5 gallons.
Okay, 5 gallons.
5 gallons, yes.
And what does it use? What's its consumption?
I burned about a gallon, or I burn a quart about every 3 to 4 hours.
Isn't that way better than normal?
Yes, yeah. A lot of guys see a quart an hour, depending on the engine.
Yeah,
but this one here is 3 to 4.
I read on the, the general knowledge thing online about they expected 2 quarts an hour is acceptable.
Could be, yes.
So you're like 1 quart every 4 or 5 hours.
Yes,
That's
yeah. About 4 hours, yes.
And does it drool on the ground?
Yes, afterwards. But this has a couple of induction tubes up here. So when we're done flying, we open these induction tubes in there, and it helps drain the oil, because that's something we didn't talk about. Was
oh yeah.
You have to you get hydraulic lock in these.
Yeah, tell us about that. How do you prevent that?
Before you start the engine up, my rule is every time. Some guys say if you've flown for 30 minutes, they're okay with it. But I always pull the prop through 14 times. 14 times? Yeah, because
and what are you doing that? Explain to
me. So if there's liquid, because the oil will get down in the 2 cylinders on the bottom, and if it's locked, it won't compress. And so you'll know it on the prop. And
but if you started it like that,
if you started it, what it'll do is it'll bend things in the engine.
Because it hits solid oil.
Hits solid oil, and then just stops the prop.
So when you turn it, are you turning it backwards?
No, turn
forwards.
Forward, turn it.
What lets it go through that oil manually if there is a lock in it?
Well, if there's a lock in it, then you come in and you take the spark plug out.
Okay.
And then when you do that, some guys, what they'll do is they'll take the spark plugs off, turn the engine on, keep the, not to start it, but just to turn the engine. Pump it, and then pump the oil out of it so it doesn't fire.
And have you ever had that happen on this?
No.
Okay, so that's something that can happen.
Can happen, yes.
All right.
But that's a preventable thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. All right.
So
love the plane.
Yeah.
Now, I have never, no, I've been in one. I was in the back. So let's fly it and see what she's like.
Okay.
Clear.
We'll just do a normal round the pack. La 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 la. Is it a steerable tail wheel?
Yeah.
Or is it just brakes?
No, it's steerable
Okay.
tail wheel. There's brakes.
So as a 185, 180 flyer with a little bit of a couple of hours, would I be able to fly this?
Oh yeah. Oh, you'd get in it. You know, honestly, I remember Ray said when I first got in it, he says he can tell right away if someone can fly it by the way they taxi it.
Okay. Because I mean, flying's flying. Landing is
Well,
fast
flying's
taxiing.
flying. You're right. Landing is
If you can taxi it at 60 miles an hour in a dead straight line, that helps. So very similar to a normal piston engine flat, like curbing, just run the RPM up and cycle it.
Yep. Do the prop at 17, and I do the mags and the generator, Lateral traffic, Cessna 9303 Alpha's departing 23, ran in the pattern plaza. Buckled up?
Buckled up.
Finals clear.
Anything you do that you find interesting, just talk through it. Like
I will. I just always do this. I don't know why, even in the pattern.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Instruments are good. Airspeed's alive. That's what was bugging me.
The squelch, yeah.
So it climbs out. I climb out at 90. And now it's 1,000 feet a minute. Just under.
Like 2,200. Okay. And you never take off with flaps.
No.
RPM back to 2,000.
45's clear.
Clear.
Lateral traffic, Cessna 9303 Alpha is turning left downwind from 23 Placerville. You can almost in the pattern just not even pull the prop back. It's warm out.
Yeah, it is. It's for this time of year, it's warm. Yeah, it's very Cessna-like, apart from the forward visibility.
Yep.
Coming out of a 172 to the forward visibility of this must have been a shock.
A little bit. Once you're up, it's
Yeah. But when the tail's up, it's nice. I can see forward over the cowling now, but as a tail dragger, I can imagine it on the ground. So I'll let you do the landing.
Cool.
A little bit of flaps.
Oh, let's see if I can land it.
I hope you can. I'm a passenger on this ride.
Lateral traffic, Cessna 9303 Alpha, turning left base for 23 Placerville.
That's my house right there.
Where?
With the green roof barn in the field.
Really?
Yeah.
You live right down there?
Yeah.
So you moved from,
Yeah. I'm 1 mile away now, not 12.
Lateral traffic, Cessna 9303 Alpha, turning final 23 Placerville. Oh, we get the Placerville
Downdraft, yeah.
downdraft right here.
Because of the hill.
Yep.
We made it.
We made it.
You know, the word that this plane sums up in my head, it's sedate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like low RPM, it's heavy, it's quality, it's sedate.
Like a big Cadillac.
Yeah, it is. Can I try taxiing?
Absolutely.
You're in charge of power.
So what you'd want to do is come over here so you can see the center line.
I can
Can
just see it.
you see it?
Yeah.
So you want to see it, and your left foot is on the center line.
Okay.
Just like a Cessna.
One of the bubbles of the cowling is perfect marker.
Yes. For me, it's one of the screws here.
And a 185 and a 180, they have a rivet line across their cowling directly in front of each pilot. Really handy.
You want to make the turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That was fun. I enjoyed it.
That was brilliant, Dave. Thanks. I can see the appeal, I really have to admit. So, Captain Morganing it, Dave. Sorry, I always do that on cool but tail draggers. Thanks for watching. We survived. That was brilliant. My first time in the front right seat. I don't know if I'm ready for the left seat yet. Of a 195. Excellent. Thanks for bringing it over.
Sure. Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, excellent. We have a couple hundred videos on this channel similar to this, owner interviews, talking about different planes. So if you like this, click on subscribe if you would, and also we're going to have some merch pretty soon, and we have a notification bell for other videos that we're going to get. And on the radial subject, in the very near future, we're going to have an incredible de Havilland Beaver that will be right here doing exactly this. So like and subscribe it, and you'll get a notification for when that one comes out. So thanks very much for watching, and Dave,
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Thank you. My pleasure.